Alright guys, so today morning I have done a video on how Israel or Mossad attacked the Hezbollah agents in southern Lebanon and caused severe casualties, right? So we have discussed that almost 3,000 were injured, and that number is actually increasing. It comes around 5,000 and around 12-15 death also is there. Okay, so now the news is coming out that Hezbollah retaliates. In that video itself I have told you towards the end that Hezbollah have made the statement that they are going to retaliate, okay, and it's a severe security breach and all those things we have discussed. So Hezbollah retaliates. So that's exactly what we are going to discuss. I'll get into the details of it. So following Israel's recent pager attack that we have already discussed, and remember guys, see, this is something which is very serious, not only for them, that you can consider Hezbollah agents as, militants or terrorists, etc. Even if you consider that, imagine if it can be done on a pager, which is again considered more safe. What's the safety that we have when we carry our phone, right? So at any time, anyone can control that. Imagine you are carrying your phone in a flight and something like this is happening in a aeroplane or flight during the flight. What can happen, right? So it's a big security breach actually. Whoever is done, it's not at all fair, and it's a big security breach, and we all are under that threat. Now whenever you use mobile phone, that threat and that fear is there in your mind, right? Anything can happen at any point of time, and it's not in your control. How can we believe anyone? Now the cyber warfare is going on, so it's like that. So I have told you that one Taiwan company have made the pages and influence, but there are some corrections which are coming, that it's not a Taiwan company, it's a European company who have supplied and produced that pager. But my point is not only that. My point is not also about Hezbollah retaliates, though the Israel military system and everything was able to prevent, and there is no human or any such kind of damage or any such issues like they have caused in southern Lebanon or among the Hezbollah agents. But my concern and my point is, how can we use a mobile phone? What security that we have, right? If they can, do it with a pager, and anyone can do anything with us, so what's the security that we have? That's the question. Let's get into this anyway. So the group has retaliated with a series of rocket strikes on Israel cities. These strikes have caused significant damage and civilian casualties, raising concerns about the escalation of violence in the region. Actually, I don't know. My friend have prepared this, so not much damage, not much casualties. So mistake it is there. Maybe he might have thought about the pager attack and mentioned over there. So it's not the follow-up this happened. So in recent development, Israel executed a sophisticated pager attack. This I have already discussed in the morning completely, how they have done it, what the kind of chip that they might have installed in the pager. They would have done it through influence, or either through money power corruption or muscle power through influence. They might have done it. And that time I was discussing about a Taiwan company who was making the pager, but there is some correction. That is what I've told you now. So around 5,000 pagers were blasted and led to a lot of casualties. The scale and impact of the pager attack, I'll just briefly mention, there's around 5,000 and civilian casualties. See, civilian casualties, the target was Hezbollah agents, right? They are considered as the militants or the terrorists, but the civilian casualties. So when you do anything, there is something called as manifest and latent. Manifest is something which is perceived, right? Latent means something which is hidden, or I would say in this way, intended and unintended outcome or consequences. So what is the intended outcome here, or what is the intention to attack Hezbollah agents? So what is the intended outcome? Hezbollah agents got attacked and they got injured, etc. But what is the unintended outcome? So when such kind of activities are there, this you can call as collateral damages. So there can be collateral damages, and that is why civilians also got injured. That is unintended. Now whether it is unintended or not, or they really wanted to do this or not, that's a different question. So because it's Israel anyway. Tragic loss: a 10-year-old son of Hezbollah MP Amir Ammar killed in the attack. So a 10-year-old also got killed. There is another 12-year-old also got killed. So that's sad. The role of pagers in the region, this we have already discussed. They consider it as more, safe and secure. And in fact, not only because of that, the tower issues are there. Like the facilities that we have here, there are some restrictions and limitation to have, mobile phone towers and all. And that is also the reason why still they are using pagers. What was the time we have seen pagers, right? So even now, if they are using it, initially we thought it like it could be for security reason. Of course, it is there that Israel cannot hack pagers like the way they can hack phone, but they have done even more severe with the pagers. But actual reason could be maybe due to the tower locations and infrastructure facilities, etc. That also need to be kept in mind. So pagers still commonly used in Lebanon, Syria and Iraq, commonly used because of that infrastructural bottlenecks. Reliable communication preferred in areas with unreliable and non-existent mobile phone towers. Okay, so I told in the morning that is because they are using it for safety and not hacking. That could also be a reason why Hezbollah agents using, why civilians are using. This could be the reason. Otherwise, even in our country, even the common man also won't use pager or anything, right? That was long back. High profile people were using. Terrorist organization appealing choice for groups like Hezbollah and Hamas because of the safety that they are expecting. Civilian vulnerability, widespread use led to civilian casualties in the attack. Hezbollah's response and woes of retaliation. Statement released, and Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah issued a statement expecting a severe retaliation against Israel, and they did that. Continued attacks. Nasrallah promised ongoing attacks on Israel. This is escalation of threat, or escalating the threat. Hezbollah intent on escalating the situation in response to the pager attack. So what happened? They launch of attacks, retaliatory attacks on Israel. Drones and missiles launched into Israel airspace from Iraq, and multiple origins. Attacks coordinated from Lebanon, Syria and Iraq. And this is actually the threat. See, when you are attacking Israel, they can coordinate all these countries, can attack, Israel. So Israeli defense, most drones were intercepted by Israeli military force. So because of that, not much casualties, not much damages has been made, as it is detected and intercepted. Before, I think day before yesterday, I've done a video on Houthis. I'm not using the word Houthi rebel now because of a lot of comments I got. Houthis, okay. So they have launched successfully, and it hit in the central part of Israel, that hypersonic missile. But at that time, they were not able to intercept. Even the US system also was not able to intercept, though they were there in the Red Sea, and the hypersonic missile passed over them and went to Israel center. Okay, so here that's not the case. They have intercepted successfully and not much damage. Limited impact. No significant damage reported despite attacks. Okay. So geopolitical implication now, if you look at Israel's security threats. Israel faces ongoing threats from both Hezbollah and Hamas. Hamas is getting weakened. Now Hezbollah can turn out to be the biggest enemy for Israel. So with Hezbollah emerging as a primary threat after Hamas weakening. Southern Lebanon conflict. The conflict in Southern Lebanon remains particularly challenging due to Hezbollah's stronghold in the region. Now Iran's role. Iran can support, and Iran's have much more capacity and capability also. So Iran continues to support Hezbollah with funding and resources for military operations against Israel. Now Israel's military strategy, targeting leadership. Okay, systematically targeting Hezbollah's leadership and operational disruption. If you look at attempting to cripple Hezbollah's operational capabilities. So here what they have done, they have attacked the way or the method in which they used to operate, and they used to pass the messages as they consider a pager a safe option was through pagers, right? And it's now the communication is completely broken. Now it is going to be very difficult. So advanced technology, utilizing advanced technology and intelligence in military operations. I'm talking about Israel. They're the best and they are the toppest when it comes to that technology, especially military, and it's part of their survival also. If you look at their history, they have no other option. They have to develop such kind of technology, and that's the, it's a survival, right? It's a survival game. Otherwise, they cannot survive. But now they became more dangerous and threat to others as well. You cannot, justify that on the basis of survival also, anyway. But we are not ignoring the fact, whatever history have done to the Jews. Okay, Israel, main actor in the conflict with Hezbollah. Yeah. United States can potentially collaborate in this. So even United States, US could have collaborated with Israel and might have launched this attack, and transfer of technology and other things could have been done. Taiwan, I have told you already that in the morning I told it's Taiwan, but there are news which is coming out that it is manufactured by some European company. So later they denied the involvement. Okay, accused of manufacturing pages but denied it. The future of the conflict. Now, ongoing tension, situations between Hezbollah and Israel remain unresolved. Of course, now this is going to escalate things. As a series of attacks, we can expect a retaliation, a proper retaliation is still pending. Okay. Southern Lebanon focus. Okay. Region remains a critical point of contention. Yes. Hezbollah structure, Jihad Council plays a central role in the orchestrating attacks. Israel's strategy, continued targeting of Hezbollah's operations in southern Lebanon and the leadership of Hezbollah also. Civilian impact and casualty. So I told you that is something which has unintended outcome or unintended consequences. So when you launch such kind of attacks, there are always collateral damages, right? So this is considered in that way. Medical response, hospitals overwhelmed with the injuries, injured civilians from the pager attacks. Emotional, this I have discussed already. So physical, the injury that they had, and at the same time psychological, the threat and the fear which has been inflicted. Hezbollah organizational structure, not important. I'll just go through that. Leadership council, top level decision making body. And then you have Jihad Council, responsible for military operations and strategy. There is a political council. Political council manages political affairs and public relations, like who will contest election and all those things, normal political body. Social services, social council provides support to local communities. Now, international reactions, this I have discussed in the morning. United States expressed concern over escalation. They have no problem, or they have not expressed concern over the pager attack. They are expressing concern over the escalation of the further issues actually. Iran condemned Israel's action. Of course, that's what expected. European Union called for de-escalation. And Russia urged restraint from all parties. Technological aspect of the pager attack. Pager modification, how they would have done and everything I've discussed. The chip would have incorporated, and the lithium battery, how they would have used it, right, to act as kind of detonator or bomb. Pagers were modified to act as explosive devices, and widespread distribution. Pagers were strategically placed among the Hezbollah operatives. Remote detonation. Devices could be triggered remotely. Okay, it could be operated remotely, and that detonator was there maybe as a chip or anything in the device itself, and how it is acting as a bomb or blasting because of the battery. That's why it cannot make severe casualties, but when it comes to the kids and all, it can lead to death. Unintended consequences, civilian uses pagers, led to unintended casualties. Long-term implications for regional stability. So escalating tension, we discussed this already. The pager attack and the subsequent retaliation may lead to increased hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah, and will continue doing the same. And Israel will face more attacks from Hezbollah, and it will be combined from Syria, Iraq, and maybe Iran. Okay, Syria and Lebanon, of course. Gaza is getting weakened, so now they can become a strong enemy against Israel. Diplomatic challenges. International community faces difficulties in mediating the conflict and preventing further escalation. I've told you about Russia's stand, US stand, European Union stand and everything. They all are, talking about de-escalation. Only Iran have condemned it. Okay. Now, humanitarian concern. Ongoing conflict poses significant risk to civilian population in the region, potentially leading to a humanitarian crisis here. So that's again a big issue, guys. If you look at this unintended consequences, you cannot simply tell that it's a collateral damage, right? You should be knowing that the society or the countries such that not everybody is using phones, or there are limitations, and civilians can also be using the pages. It's not only Hezbollah agents to pass the messages. So this kind of unintended consequences where civilians are getting brutally attacked, it's not acceptable. And think about this, tomorrow we are also using the phones, and who's remotely controlling our phone, whether our phone also have some chips which can act as a detonator and it can blast at any point of time. Who knows that? So that also is a major concern, a bigger concern. With that note, I am ending this discussion. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon.